Good evening, everyone. Today is the 28th of January, 2026. This is the midweek Flagler weather update, and we are doing this because of some developments and that we are monitoring. There's a lot of things that can happen, so I just want to stress that there's nothing set in stone. So, and I definitely don't want to overhype things, but there are some things that we are watching with this storm and how cold it's going to get and all those other things. We're going to take a look at all of that. So, the first thing is let's talk about why this is happening. So, this is the current weather map as things right now. Cold, high pressure system right over us. But then as we get into the end of the week, you see this low pressure system taking shape over the southeast. And then as that pulls away from us, it's going to pull some very, very cold air down behind it. Now, the main thing is we just don't know. Let's get zoomed in here a little bit and get to the right day. So this is Friday. We just don't know exactly where this low pressure system is going to go. And if anyone's been up north in snowstorms and wintry storms and stuff like that, that's a big factor. You just don't know where the center's going to go. And where the center's going to go is going to drive what kind of weather we see here in Flagler County. And how intense this system gets is also going to drive how windy it's going to be and how cold it's going to get. So those are things that we're monitoring. So let's go ahead and talk to the National Weather Service here, and let's go ahead and see what their take is on things. So right now, this is a long duration cold weather outbreak. Will be continuing at least into early next week. Freezes will be a thing. We can expect repetitive freezes. We might get a break for a day or two, but then there'll be more. So we've got a lot of stuff, a lot of cold air to go through just yet, and it might even get colder than it is right now. And so the main focus is going to be Saturday night into Sunday morning when some of the coldest conditions may get here, along with windy conditions developing, possibly gale conditions developing. And then we are monitoring for the potential of wintry precipitation. So the best chances of that right now lie up in southeast Georgia. But there's been some recent developments, and we're going to take a look at that in just a minute. So there is a freeze and frost warnings out for tonight, and Flagler County has a freeze warning and has a frost advisory as well. Now that freeze warning is more for points west of I-95. Along the coastal areas, you might escape freezing, but you're probably still going to see some frost over there. So we're going to continue with this pattern right into the end of the week here. So, and this is, Palm Coast is the location they picked for Flagler County. So we're looking at, a low temperature Sunday morning, possibly near 25 degrees. That's the coldest it's been here for a while. And then 29 by Monday morning, and then we start recovering by the middle part of the week. So this is some proper cold that we're going to be dealing with. Now, wind chill forecast. Again, Sunday morning, we might be looking at a wind chill of 10 degrees. We'll take a closer look on all of this in just a moment. Now, this is the one that gets people talking. What is the potential for snowfall? Right now, this is like really low risk, 5% chance. And this was as of 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but I do have some updated information I'm going to go over here in just a moment. And then further on up, you have about a 10% chance and so forth, at least through Saturday evening is what this represents. So the risk of all that snow and everything staying off to the north. However, strong wind gusts are going to start coming into the picture. So Saturday afternoon and evening, gusts up to and maybe over 40 miles an hour can be expected along the beaches, especially along those coastal locations. And this is several days out, so this forecast can get adjusted. Again, it's going to depend on where that low pressure system goes. So remember, protect your pipes, pets. Now, if you have like a regularly built house, like the houses in Flagler Beach and Palm Coast, if you don't have any outside pipes, you're probably going to be okay. Excuse me. I drink a little bit of water here. But if you have sensitive plants, you want to bring those inside. And if you have any pipes that outside, like if you're in a manufactured home or a trailer or something like that, you definitely want to leave some water running, especially this weekend. 25 degrees, that's a hard freeze, folks, and we have not had one of those in a long time here. So let's go and take a look at the interesting stuff. This is your winter weather outlook. So this is basically the chances of wintry precipitation, snowfall. So let's back this up. This is today right now. This is Thursday. Then we're getting into Saturday now. Now we're getting into a Saturday afternoon. And maybe the odd flurry possible up by Jacksonville. And then when we get to Saturday night, then we start seeing chances of snow or maybe some flurries all the way down into Flagler County, especially right along the coast. This does not mean accumulating snow. This is also very low chances. I want to show 5% chance. This is very, very low chances of this. So as we go further into the future, though, those numbers go up. And this is several days out. There's a lot of time to watch this. So now we're getting into maybe 30% chances in our neck of the woods, maybe up by 40% chance, up by St. Augustine maybe, Jack's Beach, Ferdinand Beach, maybe 40 to 50% chance. So there is, and then also here on the Gulf Coast side, possibility, again, very low chances of this. So I want to make sure I emphasize this. So again, we're only talking 20% chance here, and then maybe 5, 10, 20% chance. So the thing is that we will need to watch to see if these chances, just like when we watch a tropical cyclone, we start seeing those chances of sustained tropical storm force winds. They start out at 5 or 10% chance. We'll have to see at each forecast cycle, are we going to see those numbers increase? Or are we going to see them go down? We got to see them go away. Again, a lot of uncertainty here, folks. This is quite unusual for us. Lots of uncertainty, but we have had measurable snowfall in Florida and in Flagler County before. It has happened in the past. The last time was 1977. And in 1989, we had an ice storm. We're not looking at any risk of ice with this at all. And again, it could just be a few flurries that come out of this. Overall, not a big deal. But we will be watching this potential. And again, there's also potential here on the Gulf Coast as well. So this is quite extraordinary. And again, look, I want to emphasize again right now, we're talking 5 to 20% chance. Again, I don't like to hype things up, but this is what the National Weather Service, this is what their graphics are showing. And so we will, again, have to watch this as time goes on. So let's move on from here. I've kind of beat this to death. And once we go further into the future, those chances start to dwindle as we get into Monday. So it looks like if we're going to see anything locally here, Sunday's the day. But again, very low chances. I want to emphasize that. Very low chances. So let's talk about the cold. How cold is it going to get? Tonight, we're back down right around 32 degrees on the US 1 FEC corridor. Palm Coast, about 33 now. With that being said, this is very localized. So maybe 33 over there on the east side of Palm Coast, but maybe lower 30s, maybe on the west side of Palm Coast. Again, there could be some localized differences in these temperatures. Now, the beaches, right around 40 degrees. The marine land might be in the mid-30s up there. Again, it could be 41 at your neighbor's house, and a block away it could be 35 degrees. That's how localized the low temperatures get, especially when there's no wind. Tomorrow, we're going to recover a little bit. We're going to flirt with 60 degrees. Can you believe it? And then tomorrow night, Friday morning, look at this. We're only getting down to about 40. That's going to be some relief from the cold spell that we've been seeing. Now, as we get into I skipped a little bit. Friday, we're getting near 70. Look at that. Near 70. Can you believe it? 68 degrees, 63 at the beaches. And then as we get into Friday night, Saturday morning, lows in the 40s. So that is, now we're going to day 4, which is Saturday. High temperatures into the 50s on Saturday. As we get into Sunday night, Saturday morning, look at this. Look at this. Low temperatures. 22 in Espanola, 22 in Bunnell, 22 DuPont, US 1 corridor, 22 degrees. This is not wind chill. This is expected low temperatures. 22 in Palm Coast, 26 at Marineland, 25 in Flagler Beach, 21 out here in Mondex. This is Sunday morning. And again, there's a lot that can happen. So these numbers will likely get tweaked. They could get warmer or they could get colder. But be ready, folks. Regardless of snow flurries, this cold air is coming. And if you have anything that you need to get ready for it, you need to get ready for it. So this is Sunday morning now. So let's see where we're at here. So Sunday high temperatures are going to struggle into the 40s. Now, if we actually get any kind of snow, it'll most likely be in the morning. But once we get in the 40s, any of that will melt rather rapidly. So if we get any at all, it'll be in the morning. If we get any at all, that's a big if, folks. So don't go to the bank on that. So as we go into, let's see here, Monday morning, we're down to about 25 degrees now. Still proper cold. This is proper cold and very unusual for us. And then as we get into Monday high temperatures, we will get back into the 50s. We start to recover. And then by the end of the week, we start getting up. How's it looking by Tuesday? High temperatures near 60 degrees. And then Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, lows in the 30s. So let's talk about wind chill, because wind chill is important. No, wind chill is what the air feels like when the wind hits you, and that's how your body's going to respond. So don't let anyone play off wind chill. It is important, and you have to be ready for that wind chill. So for tonight, we're looking at wind chills mid-20s to wind chills. And then Friday morning, we're looking at wind chills right around 40. The wind eases off a little bit. And then Saturday morning, wind chills in the 40s. That's not a big deal. As we get into Sunday morning, again, this is forecast. 8 degrees, 7 degrees in Bunnell, 6 degrees in Palm Coast, 11 degrees at the beaches. This is wind chills. This is what is expected Sunday morning, according to the National Weather Service. And again, this can change, but these are brutal wind chills, and you will get frostbite if you are not properly protected. If you are out there Sunday, or late night Sunday night or early Sunday morning. So again, if you're going to be outside, be ready for these wind chills. And why the wind chills going to be so low? I'm going to show you that in just a little bit. But then as we get into Monday morning, now we're down in the teens. Ooh, it's warming up a little bit. And then as we get into Tuesday morning, we're back up into the 30s with the wind chills. And then as we get into Wednesday morning, there we start to recover rather nicely. So let's talk about that wind. Why is it going to be so cold? Why is that wind chill going to be so bad? So let's talk about that. So wind's not too bad, 16 miles an hour. And then Thursday, but gusting up to 18 miles an hour. These are just gusts. This is not sustained winds. And then gusting at about 10 miles an hour Friday. Saturday, look at this. Gusts up to tropical storm force. This is gale conditions. 38, 39 at the beaches, 40 in Flagler Beach. And there'll probably be some gusts higher than that. Gust into the 30s, mid-30s, all the way up to Bunnell. Gust into the 20s further inland. This is why that wind chill is going to be so brutal with these stronger winds. Again, these wind numbers can be adjusted as that forecast gets fine-tuned. So let's see here. That is Saturday. So Sunday, we're still looking at winds gusting into the 30s along the coastal area, so a gust to gale force will be possible then. But then as we go into the beginning part of the week, those winds come down quite a bit. So again, our precipitation chances, let's go ahead and talk about that right now. Precipitation chances here, and this is just anything water falling out of the sky. So when we get to Friday, we're looking at maybe about a 40% chance of showers associated with that disturbance as it comes through here. And as we get to Saturday, we're looking at about maybe a 18-20% chance. So now as we go into Saturday night, we see about a 14% chance right along the coast. And then as we go into Sunday, we don't see any precipitation chances right now. But we just saw on the Weather Predictions website of that potential for wintry weather. So again, this just may not have caught up with that yet. The official forecast is for dry and sunny, but cold Sunday. And that might stick as well. There's a lot of moving parts to this and a lot of things that can change. So again, stay up to date is the main story here. And we'll be keeping you up to date best we can here as well. So I think I've gone over the temperatures. I've got over rainfall. I've got over the wind. So when are we going to get relief from this? Let's talk about that. So this is the 6 to 10 day outlook. This takes us to February 7th from the 6th. And we're still looking at being an average of below normal temperatures through that period of time. Into the first week of February, we are still staying below normal. It doesn't mean it's going to be every day it's going to be ice cold. We could get a 1 or 2 warm days thrown in, but on the average, expect temperatures to stay below normal. Precipitation chances, where's my mouse? we're looking at below normal precipitation chances in that period of time. So 8 to 14 days, this takes us up to February 11th. We're still looking at below normal temperatures, middle part of February, precipitation below normal. Now, how about the entire month of February? So we're looking at the outlook for the entire month of February. I guess it's going to warm up at some point because they are forecasting on the average temperatures to be above normal for the entire month of February. Again, I want to stress that doesn't mean it's going to be warm every single day. That if you add all the days up together, it'll be warmer than normal. That's what they're thinking right now. Of course, that can change. January was expected to be that too, and you see where we are right now with that. And precipitation chances also below normal. So, folks, that's going to wrap this up. We'll probably be doing other updates and posts as the week develops here. And, again, the main message here is that there's going to be a lot of changes to this forecast. There's going to be a lot of things that's going to be different with it each day that gets updated. The chances of significant snowfall have gone further north. It looks like the Carolinas are going to get the bulk of that. And just that ever so slight chance of some flurries maybe here in our area. But we'll monitor that because those chances could also go away or they could increase. We just don't know. And again, if you have just come up into if you just came online here and you've missed everything, you can go ahead and just rewind the video and play it back. So everybody out there, have a great day. Have a great rest of the week and stay warm.